Hello, hello. We are officially moving on to Unit 4, which is Congress. So we will be looking at the House and the Senate, how they function, what they do, and things like that while we wrap everything up. So your assignment for Monday, the 23rd of November is to fill out this Congress fact sheet, and we will actually fill it out together in this video. So what I would suggest doing is, if you don't already have this open, it's in assignments, I'll give you some points for doing it. I would pause me and then get this open because I'm about to talk through all of it, and why listen to me twice? So let's get started. Congress fact sheet. First thing, name the two bodies that make up our bicameral legislature. The House of Representatives and the Senate. The House, the Senate. They do function a little bit differently, and we'll get into a few of the details about them, but this is known as a bicameral legislature. There are two different branches. This was actually one of those big compromises we talked about early on, was that there would be a Senate based off of everyone gets the same, and a House based off of representation. They do different things though. If you are a member of the House, you are to be most caring about your specific district, right? So for our district, it's Greg Pence. Greg Pence does not care about the entire state of Indiana, the entire United States. His top priority is supposed to be our district, the district that he gets voted in for, right? The Senate's different though, because senators are for the entire state. The senators have to care about all the different districts. They have to care about what's going on in Winchester, but they also have to do what's best for Indy or for Gary or for Bloomington. They're caring about the entire state, and the entire state is voting for them. So how they function is going to be a little bit different depending on where they are in the world, right? Our concerns here are going to be a little bit different than our concerns in Indy, and that gets balanced. So the House, the Senate. How many years is each session of Congress? It is 2. We get a new Congress every 2 years. People will be getting voted in and out every 2 years. So the one that just got elected at this past election will serve 2 years. Question 4. How are the numbers of representatives divided for each state? This is where the House thing, the Congress thing, it gets a little complicated. Representatives is referring to the House of Representatives. Sometimes it's just called representatives. So how are the numbers of representatives decided for each state? Based on that state's population. Right? California has more, Montana has less, right? So it's completely based on how many people live in that state. Let's see here. Question 5. What is the total number of representatives in the House? It is 435. 435. So that gets divided up between everybody. So 435. Let's see here. Number 6, how many representatives does Indiana have? They have 9. Again, based on population. When you start dividing everything up based on population, we're left with 9 people in the House. Question 7. How many years does a representative serve in Congress? Only 2. Only 2. So they are re-elected every 2 years, or not re-elected, every 2 years. So they're on every election, both midterm and others. Okay. 8. How often do seats in the House reappropriate? All that means is, when do we reshuffle, right? Some states grow in population, some states shrink proportionately. So how do we decide where those 435 seats go to? Every 10 years, we redecide based on the census. So that's another reason the census is oh so important, is because that's how things then get redivided up and replaced. So, 9. From what type of district are most members of the House elected? So these are called single-member districts. Single-member districts. And that basically means that one person is going to win. Right? A single person, a single member is going to win. Right? We don't have 2 House of Representative people for our district. That's just not how it works. It's really just one person, so it's a single member district. 10. List the 3 constitutional qualifications to be a member of the House. So for the House, you have to be at least 25 years old. That's the first one. The second one, you have to have been a citizen of the United States for at least 7 years. And the third is that you inhabit that district. You actually have to live in the district, or that doesn't go over very well. So 25, 7-year citizen, and inhabit. Alrighty, moving right along here. Question 13. How are the number of senators decided for each state? Everybody gets 2. Okay, same for everybody. Everybody gets 2. No matter how populated, how not populated, it's just everybody gets 2. So how many senators are in the Senate? 100. Right, 2 per state. 2 per state. Now some of you might be thinking, well, what about Washington, D.C.? They don't have any. They do not have any. They only get to vote for president and their own local people. Whatever. I don't live there, so I don't care. Anyway, 15. How many senators does Indiana have? Well, if every state gets 2, we also only get 2. 16. From what type of district are senators elected? These are called at-large districts. At-large. And that's because more than one person is going to win a Senate seat, because everybody gets 2. So the entire state gets to vote for who our senators are. It's not just a single district, it's an at-large. At-large. 17. Which amendment allows for the direct popular election of senators? I made it 17 for a reason. 17 senators. So 17th Amendment is the one that gets direct popular election for senators. 18. How many years is a senator's term in Congress? 6. Theirs is longer than the president. There's 6. There are also absolutely no term limits. So it's 6 years, and you can keep on being a senator until you don't get elected again. And last, 19, 20, and 21 list 3 constitutional qualifications to be a member of the Senate. You have to be a little bit older. You have to be 30 years old to be in the Senate. You have to have been a citizen for at least 9 years. And again, you have to inhabit that state. Okay, so 30 instead of 25. 9 instead of 7, but also you still have to inhabit. There's always this kind of belief that the Senate is a little bit more important, and you need to be a little bit older, brighter, more experienced. It's harder to win the Senate usually than a House seat. So that's with that. Alrighty, so go ahead, submit this when you are done so I can give you points for it, and we will keep moving right along. Thanks.